Still crunchy broccoli covered in a rich, creamy cheese sauce, oven baked with a cheesy, crispy topping. You requested this, and we're happy to oblige with this cheesy broccoli casserole. A couple of weeks ago, we asked our followers what they needed to complete their menu planning. A resounding yes for vegetable casseroles. Well, this casserole is fab, so delicious, plus it puts broccoli to good use. Here's how to make it. To begin, oven rack, middle position, preheat that oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Have a 9x13 oven-safe casserole dish at the ready. You can use glass or a fancy oven-safe crock will work too. Next, we ditch that old can of soup and instead are making a flavorful cheese sauce. Medium pan on stovetop, moderate heat, melt 3 tablespoons of butter. Then we're adding 2 shallots, finely diced, plus 2 garlic cloves, also finely diced. We're gonna sweat them in the butter for a bit to soften, and then sprinkle the pot with 1 teaspoon of dry mustard and 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Stir them in, cook for a minute more. Next, sprinkle the pot with 3 tablespoons of unbleached all-purpose flour. Stir the flour in and cook until it browns a little bit. Then we're adding 1 cup of chicken stock. You can also use vegetable broth. We're gonna stir to thicken. Then we're gonna follow with 1.5 cups of whole milk. Stir or whisk constantly, cooking until the sauce thickens. Remove the sauce from the heat. It looks a little thin, but wait. Now we're adding 2 cups of grated Gruyère cheese. When the cheese is melted in, we're gonna season with salt and pepper to taste. You can cover and leave the sauce to the side. Next, an easy casserole topping. Small skillet on stovetop, melt 1 tablespoon of butter, then add 1 cup of panko crumbs. Sprinkle the crumbs with 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Stir to combine and cook until the panko is brown. Remove it from the heat. Let's transfer that crispy panko into a small bowl, stops it from cooking in the pan. Plus, keep a grater handy. We're gonna grate up 1 cup of old cheddar. Splurge here and pick up a really good quality Gruyère and extra old cheddar cheese. After all, this recipe is all about the cheese and the broccoli. That's up next. You'll need 2 pounds of broccoli for the recipe. I'm trimming off the florets. You can divide or quarter the big ones. We're also using a little bit of the stem. You can cut it into smaller bite-sized chunks too. The broccoli goes into a medium-sized pot. We're gonna cover it with water. You can add a sprinkle of kosher salt, maybe a teaspoon's worth. Bring the pot to a boil. As soon as it starts to boil, time 2.5 minutes exactly. We're then gonna strain through a colander, leaving the broccoli to drain completely. Don't overcook the broccoli. 2.5 minutes is perfect. Next up, basic, a general assembly. Spill the broccoli into a 9x13 glass dish or oven-safe casserole. Spread it out evenly. We're gonna pour that cheese sauce over the broccoli. It is really amazing. Now we're gonna top with a little bit of that grated cheddar and about half the quantity of panko crumb. Now go back, let's repeat. More cheddar and more panko. Make sure you get it into all of those little broccoli nooks and crannies. Transfer the casserole to the oven. We're gonna bake for 15 minutes or until the top is bubbling and slightly golden. When it's done, leave it to sit for 5 minutes, but then we serve. Check this out. It is rich and creamy and cheesy, and that broccoli still has a little bit of crunch. I eat this side dish with everything, and so will you as soon as you bake it. Full recipe is up at weekend@thecottage.com. When you're visiting our website, please subscribe to it. Look for this video on our dedicated YouTube channel. You can subscribe to it as well. And then when a casserole is this delicious and gorgeous, take a picture of it, post it using hashtag weekend@thecottage on your favorite socials like Pinterest, the Gram, and Facebook. Cheesy broccoli casserole. Ooh, I just love it. Crispy, cheesy topped broccoli. Beauty.